Howdy, 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 my name's Anachi Sasuke, and this is the September update video. I have a few things I need to say. The first one is, well, I need to explain myself. The reason videos have not been happening weirdly, there's reasons for everything, and not all of them are good reasons. So the first thing is that the reason there's not really been any videos on Mondays is because I'm not home on Mondays for the last while now. I spend the weekend hanging out with my friend playing video games, and lately have been putting off coming home on Monday so I could keep doing it. And that has been throwing a little bit of havoc into my video uploads because I've been operating in the mindset that things need to happen on specific days, and if I miss those specific days, they can't happen. And much like taking my medication, I should have been just doing it as soon as I had the ability to do so. That's why there hasn't been any house pets in a while, is because I had it in my brain that house pets is supposed to happen on Mondays. But since I'm never home on Mondays, house pets just wasn't happening, and that's dumb. So I'm going to give up on having a set schedule for when things happen, as if there's been a set schedule for any conceivable amount of time now. The other thing, so that's house pets. House pets is usually Mondays, but now it's just going to happen when it happens. I'm going to try to be better about it. Tuesdays is usually Dream Keepers. There's a different reason why Dream Keepers hasn't been happening. That reason is, although I'm enjoying the comic and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in Prelude rather. Prelude is happening as all well and dandy, but the graphic novel is still just on Patreon. As in, I just went and checked before starting this update video, and I still have no access to the actual comic. But that's not why I haven't been doing it. The reason I haven't been doing it is because this past July was Anthrocon, which is a furry convention that the creator of Dreamkeeper usually goes to. This year they didn't get to go, and the way they decided to handle that was to run a convention on Twitch of all the people who didn't get to go to Anthrocon doing a, what they called, I believe, CouchCon, where you just watch them on Twitch and it's free and that's all well and good. But there was also someone at Anthrocon who had a table set up that seemed to serve no other purpose than saying, hey, these people aren't here, you should go watch CouchCon, and that didn't really sit right by me, that there was just someone there for the express purpose of telling other people to go watch CouchCon. I get that it's free, and all you really need to do is have an internet connection and you can be at Anthrocon and watch CouchCon, but the fact that they ran it during Anthrocon felt a little bit really very petty to me, and I haven't felt like reading Dreamkeeper since. So I was initially going to say I'm not going to read Dreamkeepers anymore. I don't want to say I'm not going to read it anymore because I do still want to see what happens and I do still enjoy the comic. I just haven't felt comfortable reading it since that happened, and that's why there haven't been any Dreamkeepers episodes in the last several months. So for the people who were waiting for Dreamkeepers, I apologize, but now you know why it hasn't been happening. Prequel, I did one of those fairly recently, not as recently as I would have liked, but that one's not canceled. There's nothing wrong with Prequel. I'm finally getting to the point where I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know if at this point in Prequel, if she ever actually did anything about the lady who stole all of her stuff. For all I know, it's still trying to sort that. But I'm almost at the point where I don't know what's going to happen next. I think the last thing I've seen is them actually trying to fight the imps. And once it gets to the point with that, I think I'm at the point where I don't know what's happening next. Two kinds. There's two reasons, haha, that I haven't been reading Two Kinds. One is, way back when, somebody kind of jumped on me about me doing the female voices myself. I called them out, they apologized, and now whenever a Two Kinds video comes out, they're right there in the comments saying, woo, yeah, more Two Kinds, and I appreciate that. But it's still further under my skin than I thought it was. But the other reason that I haven't really been doing Two Kinds is it's starting to get uncomfortably sexual. And even if it weren't for the fact that YouTube is eventually going to notice that and start getting mad at me about it, to me personally, feels uncomfortable saying out loud some of the situations these characters are getting into. So the two reasons I haven't been doing Two Kinds are still a little wishy-washy about actually reading it because of that criticism, and the fact that it's starting to make me uncomfortable actually reading it out loud. So for the person who specifically requested I do two kinds, I apologize, especially since I got permission from Tom to do it, and I spoke to him again this year, and he said, like, I ran the trace voice by him, and he said that was good. I apologize, but I think I'm going to have to stop doing two kinds. As far as Lackadaisy goes, that one is just simply me losing track of time. There was no, like, nothing made me not want to do Lackadaisy anymore. There was no malicious intent. There was nothing to make me not want to do it. I'm not, like, procrastinating or anything. I just... Typically on Friday morning, my entire attention is on getting ready to go hang out with my friend for the weekend. It takes a lot for me to actually boot up my computer to do videos on Fridays now, and that's simply because I'm not used to it anymore. There were a few months where I was sharing my laptop with my dad, and during that, I fell out of touch with doing videos every single day. So, I'm no longer used to it. But it sounds like Lackadaisy Volume 3 is almost done, so if I do want to try to fling myself back into Lackadaisy, especially since, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not bothering with scheduling anymore. So no more Lackadaisy Fridays, no more prequel Wednesdays, no more House Pets on Mondays. They will happen when they happen. If I feel like recording, I'll hook up all my cables, hope nothing overheats and explodes, and do what I do until it hurts to do it, and then I'll do it again the next day. And that brings me back around to Avis Demon. So I appreciate the fact that I've not been getting as many comments about that as I was from between the last two episodes. I did make it known that I have no idea when I'll be able to do another episode. However, this past Thursday, the comic came back off of hiatus, and the creator said on Twitter that it's going to go back to normal updates this Thursday. And as I said before, I'm waiting until either the chapter finishes or it hits 100 pages, whichever comes first. I don't know where it is right now. I was going to pull up a video or a window. Let me see if I can pull up a window anyway. I didn't even close out of Firefox like I thought it did. So, Avis Demon website. You can probably hear my keyboard. Into the archive. Processes and tutorials. That's new. Okay, bottom of the page. Okay, so it looks like chapter 26 might be done because there's a whole other page, a chapter that's just intermission now. When I saw that intermission was happening, I assumed that the intermission was in the chapter 26. Let me bring the window over. Okay, so chapter 26 is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 73 pages of chapter 26. But then over here, there's 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 27 of the intermission, which puts us at 100 actually. But at the same time, if there's a video coming out, or not video, if there's an update coming out this Thursday and she said it will be returning to regular updates, is that going to be more chapter 26, more intermission, or the start of 27? So if nothing else, I'm going to wait until this Thursday to see which of those three things happens. If it's more intermission, then I'm going to keep waiting. If it's more chapter 26, then I'm going to keep waiting. But if it's chapter 27, then I'm going to do another episode. So that's Avis Demon. There's nothing new really happening with the SCP wiki. There's just let me just get rid of that. There's just we've reached the thousands. I gotta do another episode of that. I still gotta do more SCP Sidestep because I want to know what happens in the that one video series, Containment, I think it was. I forget what it was called, but I haven't watched the next episode of that, and I want to because it's really great. I also got to read some of the random side things. I still got to see how many SCP-1s they added, because they added like 15 more since I started this series, and I got to look at those at some point. I just haven't decided if I was going to do them in SCP Sidestep or do like somebody else recommended and do another entry of those at the end of episodes, because the SCP-001 entries tend to be really, really long. The first 5 episodes of that series were just SCP-1. So that's just to say how long those are. But That aside, let me close out of that. Other things I want to be doing in the absence of Two Kinds and Dreamkeepers. I did start my channel. Why didn't start my channel? I started doing videos like this as a Let's Play channel. Now, I prioritize the Let's Reads because people enjoy those and they ask for them, and people don't really watch the games, but that's not what I was doing them for. I was doing them because I had way too many Steam games and wanted to at least try them. But since then, I've gained the ability to do certain console games. So, that being said, Pester Quest is happening. As you may remember, I did not bother to finish the Homestuck epilogue. If I had known that Pester Quest was going to directly reference the epilogue, maybe I'd have given it the old college try and finished college either, so I guess that evens out. But Pester Quest, they said it's going to update every 2 weeks like Hiveswap FriendSim did. But I don't know what day, because last time with FriendSim I did it every Monday, so it was every 2 weeks they gave 2 volumes, and I did a volume every Monday, so that when the next Monday rolled around, they would come out with another video. I think it was every Friday. This time around, Pester Quest started on Wednesday, last Wednesday, the day after my birthday. So I don't know if it's going to be updating every Wednesday. And I realize now, as I'm saying this was like, I was all, oh, well, what day am I going to do these? Because I don't know when they're going to come out. I literally started this update by saying I'm not keeping a schedule anymore. So, I no longer know what my concern was. My concern was, when should I do these, since I don't know when they're coming out. But I'm also not sure if it's going to be 2 volumes every 2 weeks, or 1 volume every 2 weeks. Because they just said that the first volume was starting with volumes 1 and 2. But, there's also the fact that, whenever that happens, volume 2, the episode volume 2 is going to happen this week. Might happen today, might happen tomorrow. I honestly don't know yet. All I know is I definitely wanted to do this update video today, and I have no idea if I was going to do anything else today. I should, because everything's hooked up already. But, Pester Quest aside, there's other games I've been doing. Like, I started playing 2064 Read-Only Memories. I started playing that on Steam, and saw that it was on Switch. And I wasn't sure how many differences the Switch version had, because the internet made it sound like it was going to be new graphics and all that. It's not. So far, it looks functionally exactly the same, there's just some extra things. But I did buy it for the Switch with some birthday money, and I played up to where I left off at, like I said I would, and the series is going to continue on the Switch from now on. So, I'm not sure 100% when the next episode of that's coming out. It will be soon, because I want to know what happens, because the game is really interesting. I like the character I've seen so far, and it's fun to play it. I found out from the Switch version that there was some dialogue choices and things that happened that I didn't experience because I did everything. It does change a little bit if you don't do everything. But that aside, also I was doing the the PlayStation Classic, because I also got that with birthday money, and I decided I was going to play each game from that. I have no intention of doing a Let's Play series of any of the games that are in there. I only want to do a video per game it has, which should be like 20 videos, one for each game. You may also have heard that the Nintendo Switch Online finally got Super Nintendo stuff. I decided I'm going to do videos of those too, because a lot of them I've never played. I don't know if I'm going to bother doing videos of the NES stuff, because that doesn't really seem like I need to do it, but I can, so maybe I will. Because of the way that the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo thing are set up, it's entirely possible for me to cover multiple NES games in one video. And I acknowledge that Nintendo is probably not going to be pleased, because ever since YouTube changed the thing about how your subscribers work, and I got demonetized because I didn't have enough subscribers, and blah 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 blah, I'm no longer in the Nintendo Creator whatever, which means I can no longer do their videos and not have them get mad at me for it. But the worst they can do, to my knowledge, is just put their own ads on the videos, and they get paid for me having done it. And I'm fine with that, because I've got the games, I'm gonna play them anyway, I've got the technology for y'all to watch me be bad at them, might as well try it. So, at some point, I'm gonna be touching on those Super Nintendo games, maybe the NES games, going to do more PlayStation Classic stuff, 2064 is on the way. Let me check this thing. What games was I doing? I was doing 2064, PlayStation Classic, Pester Quest, I had already said I'm not going to do Swords of Ditto anymore because the game was just... It was tedious to the point where once it gave me the scope of what I need to do to actually beat the game, it's kind of like when I tried to play Majora's Mask on the 3DS for the first time, and I thought back to just how many things you have to do in Majora's Mask, and then was immediately disenchanted and didn't want to play it anymore. Now that I know the scope of what I need to do in Swords of Ditto, and the fact that beating Mordo, or Mormo, whatever her name was, doesn't actually mean anything because she just curses the world anyway, having learned that, it does not feel worth it, not only to not do more videos of that game, but I don't even want to play it anymore. I uninstalled it already. So, Swords of Ditto's not coming back, but I also was doing Out There Omega and Tangle Deep, both of which are also on the Nintendo Switch. I considered getting them, but I didn't want to get them full price because Out There Omega, it may go on sale eventually. The only reason I didn't get that full price is because I bought Celeste instead. But I know that Tangle Deep goes on sale for $12.99. So, seeing as I don't have money often enough to just buy things full price willy-nilly, I was waiting on that. So whenever I can get the Switch version of those two games, I'll continue those series with the Switch versions. Because if I'm playing the Switch versions, editing them is much faster for some reason. I honestly don't understand why, but for some reason Switch games edit faster than everything else I do. But this has gotten rambly. It's not, I don't even know if it's rambly. It's more that I'm explaining my process more than I was intending on. But yeah, so the games I'm going to be doing are 2064, the PlayStation Classic, Pester Quest, and the Super Nintendo and the NES things at some point. And I already talked about all the comics. We're still going to be doing House Pets, because House Pets is great. Still going to be doing prequels. Still going to be doing Lackadaisy. Still not going to do the Homestuck epilogues. There's still going to be the SCP Wiki. Still going to be Ava's Demon when there's enough Ava's Demon for me to do it. Yes, there's enough Ava's Demon for me to do it now. But if I just wait 2 more days, then I'll know for certain whether or not I should yet. So that's where I'm standing on Ava's Demon. I considered having my background be Ava's Demon related, but that just feels really clickbaity. It's clickbait without clickbait, because I know that people like Ava's Demon on my channel so much that if the thumbnail is Ava's Demon, they're going to flock to it expecting more Ava's Demon than there actually is. The last time I had that happen, I felt bad. But how do you apologize for something you didn't see coming, right? I can't see the future. If I could see the future, then I don't know, maybe I would have hit the lottery by now? Whatever. But that's about everything I had to say in this update video. So again, apologies to people who've been waiting for Dream Keepers. Now you know why it hasn't happened. I'm not going to say that it's never coming back. I just don't know when it will. Two Kinds is not coming back. I apologize. I thank Thomas Fishbach for letting me do that. I don't know if he ever saw it. The comic is great. It's just not something I feel comfortable reading out loud on YouTube for the masses anymore. And Lackadaisy will be back at some point. Because I still had all the side stuff I was doing. There's probably enough comic. I shouldn't have closed out of the browser because I gotta go back and see if there's any Lackadaisy. Lackadaisy stuff. Lackadaisy. Let's see how much Lackadaisy is there. Archive? Okay, so there's a good amount of Volume 3. Like I already did Volume 2, I believe. Because, right, this is when they went into the tornado. So, yeah. I probably can start Volume 3. I just keep forgetting to come back and actually do it. And then there's the other things which were in Gallery. I keep going to Ishkabibble, but it's not Ishkabibble, it's Gallery. And I think we were at the point of going through all these things. I'll have to double check. But, yeah. So that's everything. I talk about the webcomics that are happening, the webcomics that are not happening, the games that are happening, the games that are not happening. The SCP Wiki is still going to be happening. It's not going anywhere. So yeah, this has been Anachi Sasuke. This was the September update. Thanks for sticking around with my channel. For those who have, if anybody wants to leave because those two comics are leaving, I understand. I would also unsubscribe from someone if they said they're no longer doing the content that I watch them for. So that's totally fine if you want to do that. But if you don't, thanks for sticking around for the other stuff. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.